Howdy, darling. What are you doing?
Fuck all.
Fuck all, you reckon?
I stabbed myself in the finger with fucking pliers.
Youch.
Ah, it's not fucking easy to get this shit off.
So, welcome back. This is episode 6. And Rameka, after taking it for a ride, is doing a few changes. For example, we're putting the forwards back on. We're going to do a bit of a lift in the front to help it stop scraping. And there was something else, I can't remember now. Oh yeah, skateboard wheels. We're going to put some skateboard wheels on it to help.
I don't know about that.
Anyway, you get to watch him struggle with that, and I'm going to put a time lapse on.
Shame the fire that's born in the bones of the bold. You can curse what you don't understand, but we're not yours to hold. But we aren't lost because we're wondering. We have a guide that shows us the way. Not sure of the whole plan, but we fully understand. This is our life to live, and so it is. Time is all the time happening all at once. A spell is spinning, a beating drum we dance upon. We've been told to sit down, to follow the line, but we weren't born to fall in line. We are the glitch in the code, the spark in the void. We are not broken, we're just not destroyed. We aren't lost because we're wandering. We have a guide that shows us the way. Not sure of the whole plan, but we fully understand. This is our life to live, and so it is. And so it is. So it always will be. Fearless. Risk everything for a life that's real.
Okay, guys, so I've just fitted the Fords again. I don't know if you can see this, but over under here on this plate, this is the plate that holds the exhaust pipe. You can't get to the shaft for the brake. You can see here, when you push on the brake, pushes that shaft, and the brake setup is down behind there. So what I did is, as you can see, I drilled a hole, and I measured it all, drilled a hole exactly where it needs to be, so I can undo this through that rather than taking all this off. So I've put it all back on. I've got Fords on there now. It's just going to give me a little bit more leg room. I'm sick of hitting my shins on the blimmin', because I like going sideways up the gravel. Sick of hitting my shins on the blimmin' pegs, because they were right here, and then I put my foot down, and then when I go to put my foot back up, I'd kick it, and yeah, I'd probably get used to it after a while, but we'll see. Now that I've ridden mids, I'll ride the Fords and work it out from there. I'll probably keep chopping and changing, but so what I did here too is I set this up to where it was meant to be, and then I've got this rod and I've adjusted it so that this is just off my foot. When I got my foot on here, my front of my foot's just on that, so I can change gears, because otherwise if you have it too high, it's hard to change up, and then it's hard to change down. If you have it too far down, it's easy to change up, but hard to change down. You know, it just goes on and on. But anyway, I've adjusted that up now. Got the Fords on, and I'm going to probably put slugs in here. They make these taller, and then it makes the forks taller, and then that'll hopefully make it so I don't scrape as much. But I've kind of got to the conclusion that, fuck it, who cares? If I just wear these pegs out when I hit the ground, that's fine. It's probably better that I hit those all the time. I was hitting the bottom of the stand here. The bottom of the stand is getting worn down. So it's going to hit no matter what I do. Hopefully lifting the front will change a bit of that. And if not, I'll just have to slow down a little bit. Or just put some skateboard wheels on my pegs so I can have 3 wheels on the ground at a time. I don't know. I've scraped the bottom of my muffler too. I don't know if you can see that. See, it's flattened it off. It was round before. So, because I've been riding sports bikes for a while, I guess this bike's just too low. So I'll just have to slow down a bit on the corners and enjoy myself without going so fast. That's all good. Anyway, it's some of the progress. At some point, I'm going to put these things. I had these made. There's a guy on Marketplace from Christchurch. He made these. He's been making them for years. But anyway, so what happens is you take the top nut off. This becomes the new top nut. That screws right down in there. So it's got a lot of thread down in there. And then once that's screwed into there, it becomes that much longer, the fork, right? So then when I push that fork down into the triple tree so it's down like that, that'll be where the join is, down in there. And yeah, it probably won't pass a warrant in this country, but I'll either just move this up to cover it, or I've got some really nice vinyl wrap stuff that I've put on quite a few bikes, that you just wrap that part of the fork tube. No one will even see it, because once that's in there, all that will look like at the top, on the top hat, instead of that, it'll be that, and it'll be polished, and you won't even see the join because it'll be down in here and I'll have it covered. So I've had these on other diners before. It's always past warrants. And you've got problems if you snap that. You've already hit something anyway, because it's clamped in here, it's clamped in here, and that can't undo because it's clamped, and that can't undo because that's clamped. So you're going to have to hit something pretty hard to try and snap that nut off in there. It's pretty well solidly built. Yeah, look how thick that is for a thread. That's thicker than the fork tubes are themselves. So, and that there's just a hole in it so that you can stick something in there and twist it around till it's tight. And that groove there is to take the O-ring that comes off the normal cap. So you take the O-ring off, put it on this one. That then screws in, seals up the top, clamp it back on. It'll give you 2 inches of lift, I think. Pretty sure it's 2. I mean, it could be nearly 3 actually, because this is 70 mils long. So it's nearly 3 inches. But yeah, I think it only gives 2 inches of lift, but I'll have to double check that when I've actually screwed it on and pushed it down in. Can't quite remember now. No, it's got to be giving, no, it must be giving it 3 inches. Yeah, all good. So yeah, I've got the wheels all off at the moment. I found some powder coated rims and some brand new spokes that someone had already done a set of wheels, and I'm just getting my hubs put into the brand new spokes and brand new wheels that are powder coated black. So it's going to look pretty blingy, I reckon. It's going to all be black and silver. So pretty happy with the way this bike's coming out so far. I'm tempted to run this on it. What do you guys think? Give me a holler in the comments of what you reckon. What do you reckon? Should I run the bloody whatever that fairing is called? I can't remember now. It's going to make the bars not look so tall and kind of hide a few things. What do you guys think? If I do, then I might try it on anyway.
job on this fantastic pedal. Like, it looks sleek. Yeah, great job.
So guys, when you don't have a socket big enough, put a old wipe that I've used lots of times. I had a socket, the socket's too big, but I put a wipe over it, look. Put the socket on, undid it. Same thing on this side. That'll stop it marring or marking the top hat nut, and it also adds a bit of extra because the socket's too big and I don't have one that fits. So here we go guys, this is sprung loaded. As you can see, look, we've got spaces in here. This is sprung loaded, so what happens is you push down hard on it, jack it up so the wheel's off the ground, look, and that'll take some of the pressure off this nut. Because look, see how that only sits on there and you've got to push it down to get it to do up. So now this washer, this O-ring, sorry, is going to be going on here. This is a slug that I'm putting in. Yes, these are not technically legal in New Zealand, but they're properly made. See the same thing, same thread. So what's going to happen is that O-ring is going to go into here. I'm going to screw this in. It's going to make the fork this much longer. I'm then going to push the forks down into there. It's going to make 3 inches. I'm pretty sure this is going to give it 75 mil. So it'll make, once I drop that down into there, it'll give it at least 2 inches, if not 3. So that's what I'm up to. While I'm here also, I'm going to pull the springs out and see if they are, that doesn't look like a normal spacer to me. Can anyone tell me if that's a normal spacer? I'm sure that the normal spacers are PVC. This is a piece of exhaust tube or some shit. So what I'm going to do now, because I've got the caps off and I don't know the history of this bike, I'm going to pull the springs out and I'm going to have a look and see if they're progressives or not. And if they're not progressives, at some point I'll be buying progressives for this bike. Okay, so here's a magnet. Make sure it's clean because you don't want to be putting dirty shit down into your oil, into your fork oil. Over here I have these are factory 883 forks springs. See how the coil is exactly the same all the way down? That's a factory style. If when I pull the spring out, if it's progressive, they'll be all the same part of the way down, and then all of a sudden they'll start getting smaller and tighter together, which is progressive rate spring, whereas this is standard. So hopefully they don't look like this, because if they look like this, then it means I need to buy progressive springs, which is $265 on Trade Me. So here's hoping someone's already done them, eh? Obviously it's going to stick to everything but what I want it to stick to. Yeah. And that's a washer. Why is there a washer down there? Obviously for the spacer, but why is the spacer steel? All the spacers I've ever done in the past have been PVC. So to me that looks like
A
a
standard.
standard spring.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that doesn't get any tighter, does it?
Nope.
That is a standard spring. So that's not what we wanted to see. But, you know, that does mean one good thing. And that is, I always thought the bike did handle kind of like shit. So that'll explain why. If it had progressives in there and I had kind of thought to myself it kind of handles like shit, then I'd be a bit more disappointed. Which is fine. It's only money. Nah, I sold my dirt bike, so I'm spending a little bit of money on my bike because I want it cool and good and handling well. Thanks, darling. Torch. Just making sure the washer goes back and sits on the spring properly because it wasn't. And then spacer goes back in. That's why you have the wheel off the ground, because if we didn't have the wheel off the ground, it'd be even harder. This is just a piece of bolt that I've cut that fits quite good in there. That's the turning apparatus. These aren't technically legal in New Zealand, but they are legal in America, so go figure. They've been used over and over and over again in America. This is the hardest part, probably because the forks are mostly in the way as well. So you don't want to cross thread these, because if you do, you'll never get them back in or out again. So you got to push down really hard and start winding, and I got it. Wasn't that easy, but I got it. Once these are in, and I pull them down in the triple clamps, that's going to have a triple clamp clamped around it. This is going to have a triple clamp clamped around this part. They can't come undone because neither one of them can turn anyway. So at the moment, I'll just do it up tight as far as I can get it by hand. Obviously that's now in behind there, so I can't get to it. But once I undo these forks and drop them down, I can then use the tool. Obviously, when you're doing shit like this, try not to scratch anything. Here we go again. So same thing again, O-ring on here. I'll put some grease on this thread so that it doesn't bind. We replaced the headlight the other day. I didn't video that. So that was just the headlight that I already had floating around from off an old Dyna that I had, and I had put a black one in there instead of a red one. It's so much brighter than the factory one. That's the reason I'm running it. I'm not running it for any colors or anything like that. I'm just running because it's bright. And when you're riding the bike, you don't actually see the color of it. It's just super bright. So it's only when it's parked that you see the color. But yeah, ultra bright. They're just plug and play. Couple $100 on Trade Me, I think. I didn't buy that one, obviously. It was on another bike, but well worth it because it definitely just is so much brighter that, for one, you can see better at night, and two, people can see you when you're riding in the day, which is important because we know how many all of us have had cars pulled out in front of us, I guess. I've had plenty of cars pulled out in front of me, but you got to be watching them. Make sure that if they haven't seen, if they're not looking at you and you haven't seen their eyes, then they probably haven't seen you. Does that make sense? Did I say it the right way around? So yes, these can be a pain in the ass to get in. So yeah, if you hold your tongue right, makes it heaps easier. It's an old trick. And if anyone wants to know where I got these and who made them, leave a message down below and I will try and put the guy's name up. I'll have to track him down again. He's in Christchurch and he's quite often on Marketplace in New Zealand advertising slugs. You'll know he's the right guy because he actually has a picture of my old Dyna in the background with a before and after picture, because he used my picture as part of his advertising, and they do look well made. He can do them. These are 39mm forks, but he can do them for what's the next one up? 41s or 42s or something. So, and he makes them up in his CNC machine or something. So I'm just tightening them up. They don't need to be super tight because they're going to be clamped in here, and then the fork moves down and clamps in here. I'll have to move the speeder up a little bit. So I'll go ahead and do that. You probably don't need to see that process. All it is undoing this pinch bolt here, undoing this pinch bolt here. Same on this side, dropping the whole forks down, hoping I've got enough brake cable length, which I do. I've got heaps. I can just pull that through more. Got plenty. I'll be dropping those down to just above there, clamping them up again, and then I've got some vinyl wrap, which I've had for years, that I'm going to wrap this part of the fork sliders, so you'll never even see that there's a join there at all. Some people wrap them off leather. I'm just going to use vinyl wrap because I like the look of it. It's kind of like, looks like carbon fibre, and it's black, so it goes with the bike. But you could wrap it with leather, you could wrap it with whatever you want. You could even just wrap tape around there or a scarf or whatever, but it's just so that it gets a warrant because it's not legal in New Zealand. But lots of people run them. I've run them. Lots of people I know run them. If they can't see that they're covered up, they won't even have to. So.
And if they're made properly and not from AliExpress, you should be alright.
Yes, these are CNC machined, properly made in Christchurch by an engineer. And they've been running these forever. And I know there's going to be people in the comments that say, don't run those, they snap. But I ran them on my Dyna, these exact ones, for, I don't know, year and a half. They're fine. I ride quite aggressively. And they're going to be even getting less punishment on a Sporty because Sporty weighs less. I'm happy to run them. I'll keep an eye on them. I should have shown you inside them. They're actually super thick. If you're going to snap that off, then you've probably already hit something anyway, and you're going to have bent all of this anyway. So I don't believe that will come down and it'll be about here. That's going to be clamped in here. That's going to be clamped in here. In my mind, that's fine. No brainer. Let's only get it to 18.5. Fuck shit. Come on, guys. Look. So I needed to go. I needed to go for the torque wrench because I don't have an adapter for quarter because quarter doesn't go to big enough. I've had to adapt the star bit into a 1/4 inch bit into a 1/4 inch socket, which goes through this ratchet onto this, which is set to torque, and that's going to give me my ratchet spacer to do 35 foot-pounds. Mickey Mouse, I know. A lot tighter than I would expect it to be. Yeah. $32. Way more comfortable, guys. Look at that, my feet are perfectly on this planter on the ground. My pegs are way up here now. They were down here before. So I've got way better lean angle. As you can see, guys, the stand's a bit short now. Well, it works, but it's just going to be way more of an angle. I should probably weld a bit more of a foot on it, but that's alright. I'll just park it accordingly. So my speedo is currently still, I've got it so it's still turnable. I want that to be so I can see it all perfectly when I'm riding. Now when I turn, I want to be able to not hit anything, which it's not hitting anything. So anyway, now that I've done all that, swiping off all the oil and stuff, I'll polish those fork tubes now. As you can see, there's a bit of oil come out from when I pulled it and checked the fork. Make sure that when I turn, as now, nothing's hitting on anything, which is good. When you can't get much leverage with Allen key, just put a spanner on it. and then you've got a bit more leverage, you can yank up a bit easier, and we can get to it in a bit of a tighter spot. Steel wool 00, little bit of auto sole. My tube's pretty old and it's looking worse for wear, but it's alright. Can you see where the old forks were? A bit scuffed up. So we're just gonna go around, clean it up best we can. And that just cleans it right up. The reason why I like to polish these too is so that when I wrap them, they've kind of got a coating on them from the auto sole, and they're not going to go rusty behind there. Last thing I want to do is pull that off one day and go, oh shit, it's all rusty. So yeah, she's a fair bit taller, 40 to 50 mils taller, and I won't be scraping now. Okay, so I've done one side, guys, just to show you the difference. So this is carbon fiber vinyl wrap, which I bought 10 years ago off Trade Me, but you can still buy it, I'm sure. So pretty much all I did was measure the distance between there, that's 180, and then all I did was got an offcut of this, and it was just a little strip that I had, and I just wrapped it right the way around until they met each other, and put a little nick with a craft knife, so I knew the length, measured that out. That came to 123 millimeters, so it's 123 millimeters all the way around a 39 mil fork. So I cut all that up, ready to go. All I did was brake clean this so it's clean as. I have then started it in, pushed it down in there, started it at the back, and then just slowly work my way around, just slowly working your way around, getting around, and it's fully joined up and sealed itself now onto itself. And if you have a look at that, have a look closely up. It's got a really nice look to it. You can't see that there's a join there. You can't even feel that there's a join there in the fork extension. It's kind of added to it too, I reckon. I like the chrome here now, and the black, and the brake and the contrast. And obviously look at the other side. The difference is quite astonishing, really, and it adds to it. It makes this all look bigger. Makes the guard stand out too, I reckon, and the black wheels. I'll get onto the second side. The second side, obviously I've got to cut two pieces because I can't, that clamp for the Speedo won't fit on there if I put a whole piece on. So I've already cut the piece that size. I'll now cut it into two pieces, wrap those, and then I'll show you the end result.
Mine.
Second side's done. So yeah, carbon fibre both sides. It's pretty easy to put on. It's quite thick stuff, so it's nice and solid. Just had to put a bit in above that and a bit below. Same on that side. But man, I'll get it outside at some point, but she is a lot higher off the ground now. Can you see under there? Like, she ain't gonna scrape anymore. And it feels real comfortable sitting on it. Way more rig. I only went 40 mil in the end. I left 5 mil sticking out the top, just so I can keep an eye on it. What would mean? Should we go for a ride, really? Anyone want a dog?
We have ended up with a Nala, who is their baby.
Our two dogs had a baby.
Made this creature.
She's nearly 4. She's quite well behaved. She's just full of energy.
She's in training at the moment to not jump up on people and to not chase cats.
And she's
otherwise
already
she's-
neutered.
Yeah, otherwise she's an incredible doggy, eh, Nala? Yeah.
Getting so much better with just in the couple of days we've had her and the time we've already put into her.
Yes, I know, you're so chill. You've already chilled out this after playing around. Hey! Good girl. Anyway, that wraps up that video. And it's a beautiful day. So we're just gonna rest, and I'm gonna make the most of being at home. But Ra's deciding whether he goes for a ride or not.
Yeah, our road is
So
12
pretty.
k's of mud at the moment.
Yeah.
the next fine day I'll take it down the road and put it in another shed that's closer to the main road where I'm allowed to store my stuff. So I just got the bike up here while I'm working on it at the moment.
Yeah. But in the meantime, today is a rest day because we've been going hard out and I've been out every single day this week, so we're pretty tired. But that's why the universe has blessed us with a nice day, because it knew that we wanted a nice day. Anyway, that's that. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also comment down below any questions or anything. See ya.
No fear, no breaks, just sky and soul. Every mile we're breaking the mold. Ride on, dream on, chase the spark. You